You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and welcome to the Sporting Time Show. I'm Doug Thompson. Thank you for joining me tonight. I have a special several guests here this evening. We have had a busy week. We had the Baseball Media Day and then followed up by the Softball Media Day. And I do want to thank teams that came from all over Russell County, Clinton County. It is a haul to get there for that. But when softball came, I forgot. I have to take full responsibility that I did not follow up with the number one team that won the 4th Region Championship last year. So it fell through a huge crack. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. But I want to welcome in Philip McKinney, his 12th year as a head coach of the Warren East Lady Raiders. Welcome in, Coach.
Hey, appreciate you having me.
It's good to see you.
It's good seeing you.
You know, what was so weird about Softball Media Day is that the media that was there kept asking me, where is Warren East?
Yeah.
And of course, we're in the middle of, you know how it goes. It's kind of crazy. And I was like, I don't know. Because sometimes people get there late or whatever.
Sure.
But we missed you because we missed the selfie shot. But maybe we'll get that today.
Yeah.
But welcome in.
Thank you.
It's great having you. 12 years. It doesn't seem like it's been 12 years.
Yeah, no, it's kind of flown by, but 12 years is quite a bit. It's a lot of games. A lot of games.
And you had a lot of games before that, too.
Yeah, I did. I mean, honestly, this summer will be my 23rd year coaching travel ball. So yeah, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of games and gotten to see a lot of little girls grow up and some of the kids, and because I'm not old, I'm not old, but I've got some players that they've got 2 and 3 kids and they're 28, 30 years old, and you know, so but yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
lot of years. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah,
And
it is crazy.
so, you know, 2010 is when you took over as head coach at Warren East,
Yes.
and then I believe 2015 you won your first region championship.
Correct.
You really haven't looked back. It is amazing to me that we almost have 3 teams in the top 10 again in the state of Kentucky in softball. We had it in basketball all year long.
Yep.
Just talk about the richness of the competitiveness and the quality that we have in this area.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten a lot better. You know, Bowling Green beat us the other night. I mean, maybe in a few more weeks, they might creep into the top 25, and that'd be 4 teams from our district in the top 25.
That's crazy.
But the 14th district is just solid. It's solid in all the sports. You know, when you get out of the 14th district, I don't care what sport it is, you're going to make a run through the region, and then probably through a state tournament.
Yeah.
Example of Warren Central basketball here recently. You know, but it's definitely competitive, for sure.
And, you know, your team obviously played an incredible game last year in the region championship. I believe South Warren at the time was 35-2 or 35-1.
They had 1 loss. Yeah.
Yeah, you win that game by a run, I believe.
Yeah.
But the Warren East South Warren rivalry has really become quite amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, and I tell some people, Greenwood, Bowling Green girls soccer, that's a rivalry. Bowling Green Central boys basketball, you know, they get after it. For several years, Central and Bowling Green football. You know, now Bowling Green and South football.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would put Warren East and South Warren softball up there in all those conversations.
Yeah, and exactly. And before South Warren, it was Greenwood.
It was Greenwood and Allen County.
Yes.
They were the studs.
Coach Roberts, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and Coach Reese. And, I mean, those 2 teams went at it. I mean, you go back and look, you know, who all won. It was those 2 almost every year. Franklin won a region championship. Warren Central won the first fast pitch region championship. But other than that, it was Allen County and Greenwood for several years.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we've got about 30 seconds before our break, but when we come back, I want to talk to you about your team this year. And again, you're positioned, you're in the top 10, you're ranked number 8th in the state. It's early in the season.
Sure.
I believe you're 4-1 so far. So we have a lot of softball to talk about.
A lot.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, We are going to have more with Philip McKinney, the head coach of the Warren East Lady Raiders. Then we have Emma Markham, senior pitcher, and then Emma Young. Easy for me to remember in today's show. We're going to take a short break. More of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back. Philip McKinney, the head softball coach of Warren East Lady Raiders, is my guest. And Coach, you've got, and we're going to have a couple of your senior players honored, your two senior players. You have a young team, but you have a very good team this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's class-wise, you know, we've got two seniors, one junior, a handful of sophomores, and a few freshmen. But experience-wise, I mean, you know, last year we were young.
Yeah.
We were nothing but freshmen and eighth graders in the infield and a freshman in the outfield. And but you know, we work with them when they're 8, 9, 10 years old in travel ball, and then they start playing middle school ball in 5th and 6th grade. So experience-wise, with our program, they've had several years.
Right. But as a travel ball coach, would you say a majority of the girls on your team played travel ball? And
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of them play travel ball, and we try to keep as many East kids as we can on our travel team. Sometimes we have some kids from other schools, but yeah, the majority, and not just our program.
Right.
South, Greenwood, Allen County, Barron County, you know, Bowling Green seniors, all of them have played travel ball, and you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell a big difference of the programs that play travel ball and the ones that don't come back until February 15th after the season's over.
Isn't it funny, though, when you look back 10, 12, 15 years ago, we were talking about, you know, Allen County had dominated, Greenwood had dominated, you had I mean, it was just, but now it's just the competitiveness is really fun in this area.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you know, girls can play sports, of course, but and I grew up playing baseball, and I was fortunate enough to play at Warren Central and Martin Methodist College, and I love baseball.
Yeah.
But I've fallen in love with softball. Go out and watch a softball game.
Much faster.
Go watch a college softball
That's
game.
right.
But go out and watch a high school game. Watch a good high school game. These girls can play.
And it's to me, it's a faster game.
It's pretty quick. I mean, it's you know, Saturday we had the 2A at Warren East in baseball. They had 3 games. They had 3 schools there. Our baseball team did. So they had a little triangle, and they played 3 games. They started at 11 o'clock. Well, we played 3 games too. Well, they started at 11. We started at 1. We both finished up with all 3 games roughly about the same time. They started 2 hours before us. So yeah, fast pitch. It's just the pace of the game is just a lot faster.
What about pitching? And you and I have seen it over the years where you have a Rachel Riley or a Gardner,
Elizabeth
now
Moss,
Emma Markham, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on and on.
They can dominate a season.
Yes.
But how important is it to have 2,
Well,
an ace and?
It's nice if you have a couple. You know, when we had Katie Gardner, we had Emma Markham to lean on. This year we've got Markham, and then we've got 2 7th graders. You know, and they're not ready to pitch varsity, but they might have to. So I mean, it's nice to have at least 2. But you don't have to have a whole pitching staff like baseball and have 6, 7, 8 arms.
Right.
You know, fast pitch, that's a natural motion. That's why the girls can throw every day, or they can throw 2 or 3 games in a day. And baseball is unnatural. But it is amazing how some of these girls, how they not only how they can throw the ball so hard.
That's what amazes me.
It's the spin.
Yeah.
That they can put spin on it and make the ball move just a little bit. And then you go watch college ball. And the story on Katie Gardner and Shelby Nunn the other day, I mean, those girls can flat throw it.
Yeah.
They can flat throw it.
Yeah, and you know, I was at a restaurant eating one day, and I saw they had an ESPN, and they had Rachel Riley throwing for University of Michigan in the World Series.
Well, yeah, it was the Super Regionals.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she beat Michigan in the Super Regionals.
So, you know, but try to do what the high school girls do as far as throw. I mean, it's just hard to hit the target.
Yeah, there's some. We'll have some baseball players and some football players, and they're like, Coach McKinney, watch me. I can pitch for you.
Yeah.
And they don't even look athletic when they do it. They'll swing their arm around. They're like this. What do I do with my feet? Do I step with this foot or that foot? I'm like, just stop, because you don't even look athletic.
Yeah, forget about pitching. Just try to hit them.
Yeah,
you can't hit them.
Yeah.
All right, when you come, I'm going to have you on after softball season because I want to talk to you about the transition that you guys are going to be making next season. I don't. It's a tease. It's a tease. I don't want to get into it this season because there's a lot of softball yet to be played. But I do want after the season. Will you come back?
Sure.
All right. Great seeing you, Coach. Thank
Man,
you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned. Emma Markham, the ace for the Lady Raiders, will be here on the Sporting Time Show, WNKY, NBC 40. Welcome back to the show. The next two segments are going to be fun as well because I have two of the senior players from Warren East Lady Raiders. They are very familiar to people that follow softball in the 4th region. My first guest is Emma Markham. She is an ace pitcher for the Lady Raiders. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. I got to ask you a question, and you probably don't even know this. You might know this. But you had 363 strikeouts last year. That is a bunch of whiffs, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to ask you, well, what is your go-to pitch? I'm going to ask you.
Definitely my curveball.
I could not imagine that. And then, of course, the fastball is the fastball.
Yeah, I don't really throw my fastball that much, though.
Really?
Unless I'm like behind an account, but that's about it.
So do they still call it where you pull the string, where you do like a change up, where you just kind of, do you throw that much?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that ball, if I was a batter, that would just frustrate me to no end. But your sophomore year was a wash in 2020. In your freshman year, you pitched 45 innings, so you were there. Of course, you had a great ace pitcher in Gardner. But how much did that sophomore year impact you as a player, and did you play travel ball during that period?
I mean, when COVID came, that was going to be my year because that was the first year Katie was gone, so I was going to be the starter that year. So I was pretty upset when the season got canceled, but I did play travel ball that whole summer and the whole fall too. Yeah. So I didn't stop playing, and I just kept playing. I played probably 10 tournaments in between the time in summer and fall. So I was up to date and ready to play by the time our next season started.
So in travel ball, pitching exclusively for you?
Yeah, that's it.
And where are you a part of a Tennessee team or a part of a?
Well, whenever I was playing, it was an Indiana team.
Indiana.
Yeah.
God, that's a lot of travel.
Yeah, all our practices were in Louisville, so it was lots of traveling.
So for people that don't understand travel softball, it is not 1 or 2 games a week. I mean, you would play in a tournament, 7 games, maybe 5 games?
Yeah, they're like week-long tournaments. We'd have maybe 2 games a day, and we'd probably get there on Tuesday and play until we lost. So we could play like a bunch of games.
That's amazing. And how do you take care of your arm? How do you take care of yourself to be able to do what you do?
Lots of icing after games. That's the main thing. And then you have to stretch it out before and after. And then just I load my arm up with BioFreeze. Yeah, and that helps a lot.
So you're a senior this year. Coach McKinney had mentioned that you've been a part of the program, or he's known you since you were 6. That's a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Talk a little bit about Coach McKinney and the influence that he has had on you. And I'm going to ask Emma Young the same question.
Well, when I first met Coach McKinney, me and him did not get along. I was terrified of him. And my very first pitching lesson, I like to tell this story, I cried on the way to my very first pitching lesson with Coach McKinney.
Is that before you met him?
No, I knew him.
Oh, you knew him.
And
okay.
That's why I cried on the way, because I was terrified of him. But ever since then, me and him just like, well, 7th grade, 8th grade, I started to get more comfortable with him. It took a long time, but I got there. Now, me and him we click really well. He's just good.
Would you say he's mellowed over the years, do you think, since you've known him for so long?
He doesn't like to admit it, but he definitely has.
Age has a way of doing that, right?
Yeah, he does.
So tell me what you think is special about this team this year.
We're really young, but we have lots of experience, like Coach said. Our whole infield came back from last year besides our catcher, and you can tell that they have gotten better just over like 1 year.
Yeah.
You can tell they have more experience at the plate, on defense. You can tell they're just more comfortable. And we have a good lineup. We have good defense. Like we're good overall. I think we can make a big run this year.
Well, it's a great start. You're 4-1. And, there are some teams gunning for you.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But congratulations on a great career. Real quickly, we have about 20 seconds. What do you have planned after?
I'm going to John A. Logan College in Illinois to play 2 years, and then hopefully I can go to a bigger school after that.
Well, Emma Markham, congratulations.
Thank
Have
you.
a fantastic career. We're going to take a short break. The other Emma will be on next, Emma Young. Stay tuned. More of the Sporting Times on WNKY, NBC 40. Welcome back to the show. I want to bring on now another senior, a heavy hitter for the Lady Raiders. She bats about .442 currently, but she has always walked silently and carried a big stick. I want to welcome in Emma Young. Welcome, Emma.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's great having you. So .442 right now. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. .442 was last year in 2021. As a freshman, you batted .304, which is amazing. If you were in the major league, you'd be $1 million player. 2020, obviously, we didn't have it. But you had told me before we started, you had played a lot of travel ball, but you kind of stopped maybe last year. Or when did you stop?
I stopped playing like right before my junior year.
Yeah. Did you enjoy? And I know it's so difficult because there's so much time devoted to that. But how much did that help you to be the kind of hitter that you are today?
It helped me get a lot of reps in, and it's just really fun being able to travel and like see all the different fields and stuff out there.
So again, you do have a young team. Do you mentor the younger players on hitting? Do they watch you? Do they listen to you?
Yeah, I try and give them advice because I'm leadoff this year, so I'll give them like what I'm seeing up there and how to stand in the box and stuff.
So the leadoff batter, do you, obviously the objective is for you to get on base. So you're not batting for power, or you are, or what's the strategy for you when you get up to the plate?
Like in the very beginning of the game, I'm just trying to get on and see more pitches and not just like swing at the first pitch that I see.
Yeah. Now, do you get courtesy runners?
No.
Or no? See, but some do, right? Some.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like to run and steal
Yeah.
bases and all that. If you were to give somebody advice on how to, I guess, be a good hitter, what would be some of your tips on doing that?
I like to get deep in the count and like see a bunch of pitches and not just like swing at the junk that they throw you.
Yeah.
Like you got to see the good ones.
Do you do much of the what do they call it? The drag?
The drag bunt?
The drag
I
bunt?
like drag bunt.
Do you really? I never could understand that. That always seemed like you were out of the batter's box when you did that. But I guess, what's the rule? You start in the batter's box and then you can step out as long
No,
as
you
it
gotta
bats?
like be in the box. It's kind of like a squeeze, but like you're moving at the same time.
That is such a weird. I mean, it's just versus a traditional bunt. Talk to me a little bit about this team, your team that you're on now. Obviously, you're very close to Emma Markham. But what's the chemistry like?
I really like this team this year. I feel like we've bonded really well. We're all really close, which helps us like play better together.
you know, and when I was talking to Coach, obviously you spoiled South Warren's season last year. There's a ton of rivalries out there. Is there a particular team that you enjoy playing more than other? I mean, you have Greenwood, all the teams out there, Bowling Green, but what team do you like to?
I like playing South. I feel like it's a really good game. I don't like games that we're just going to roll them real fast. I like the tight games.
Yeah. So, obviously, we're just starting the season. What are some of your plans after softball?
Like after I graduate high school, I'm going to go to Western and go into nursing.
Excellent. So, nursing, is there different levels of that for you?
Yeah, you can be like a CNA, an RN, or like a nurse practitioner. I'm going to try and get my RN and then go into a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, that's excellent. And then you can see patients and do all that stuff.
I wanted to be like a sports physical therapist too, so I still have like some softball there.
Yeah, and doesn't Western offer that now, the physical therapy
Yeah.
program? Well, that's excellent. So, you know, it's the beginning of the season. You're 4-1. What are your goals? What are your goals this year in hitting? What are your goals as a teammate?
I want to
this
try
team?
and lead the team in RBIs, and then I want to at least bat over 400 by the end of the season.
Yeah, well, if last year is any indication, you will certainly do that. And, you know, it's great having you on the show. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
in
me.
today. We missed Warren East at Media Day, but we'll get you back next year. Well, we won't get you back next year.
No.
But we will wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
And it's great having you guys here. And again, you can go back and you can watch all of the Sporting Times live streams on demand. You can listen to the Warren Central Dragons basketball march through the state tournament. You can also go back and watch basketball games. You can go back and watch football games. Go to stfanclub.com/live and click on demand, and everything is right there. So we appreciate everybody. We appreciate all of our sponsors and participants. For Doug Thompson, we'll see you next week. Same time, same place, right here on WNKY NBC 40. Have a great week.